It has created uncertainty in global markets, as we've seen in the sell-off in stock markets and in a number of currencies, including our own. It will, an event like this does raise the level of uncertainty and does undermine, to some extent, investor confidence. The critical thing for Australians to understand, however, is that our economy is strong. The fundamentals of our economy are very, very strong indeed. There should be no need or cause for alarm. I know Australians will be seeing on the nightly news for some weeks, probably some months, stories about economic uncertainty, political ructions in Europe arising out of the British Brexit vote. But it's important to remember that we have a very, very strong economy, a strong, open economy with very strong fundamentals. Having said that, in an environment where there is downward pressure on confidence, where there is increased uncertainty, it is more important than ever to ensure that we choose on July the 2nd a stable coalition majority government with a clear national economic plan. Every element of our economic plan supports investment, it supports economic growth, it supports employment. That is what it is all about. And those measures, that plan, and that stability, and that strong economic leadership is needed now more than ever. I'll now ask the Treasurer to update us on his discussions and consultations.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Over the course of this morning, I've had the opportunity to speak to APRA, the Reserve Bank, and of course Treasury. And on top of that, I've had quite lengthy discussions with each of the major bank CEOs. Australia is well placed and well prepared for the situation that we now face, and that is not by accident. This government, over the course of the last few years, engaged in the financial systems inquiry. We engaged in a strong health check of our financial system, and our financial system is strong. And the stability and confidence in our banking and financial system is always critical at moments like this, and it's important that we take every opportunity to remind Australians and to remind those further afield of the strength of Australia's banking and financial system. Liquidity issues have been addressed, and funding issues for our financial system are well in hand, as they are indeed being addressed overseas as well. Banks here and overseas knew of the date of this, were well prepared for the date of this. Our regulators and others took the necessary precautions leading into this event in stress testing the institutions, and that was occurring overseas as well. The announcement by the Bank of England that there's some £250 billion of potential support there to support liquidity in those markets is also very necessary and very welcome. As the Prime Minister said, the volatility is expected to continue in the short term as markets reprice in the wake of this most recent news, and in addition to that, after that flight to quality which we've been seeing in the short term. And that will have an obvious impact on short-term returns, and that would be expected to moderate over time. In particular, in our largest trading partners in China and the US and others, the reaction has been far more modest than what we've seen, obviously, over in the UK and in Europe, and especially in China, where things remain very, very stable. Market expectations is for rates to remain lower for longer. Expectations about what might be happening with the Fed and things of that nature have moderated as a result of what we've seen in the last 24 hours. And indeed, this volatility, which saw appreciation as well as devaluation in the lead up to this vote and since, means that over a week's period, even on our own markets, you'll see the week-long impact being less than what you saw in just the one-day period. Now, the process, they're also noting, will unfold over time. The Article 50 process won't be initiated yet for some months at the very least, and the process then it follows will be a matter for the UK and the European Union. So existing arrangements that exist in the banking and financial system and trading arrangements and others will remain as they were for some period of time. But of course, markets and institutions will be keen to learn in a period of over the medium term of what that may look like down the track in the terms of the exit. And so there will be a period of uncertainty now that will go for several years as those terms and conditions of the UK's departure from the European Union are determined and finalised. Now, that also obviously has impacts for Australian companies that are operating in Europe through the UK, and they are just one of the many transitional issues that will have to be dealt with. Now, markets can never have certainty soon enough, but the Australian people can have certainty next Saturday. And they can contribute to that certainty, as the Prime Minister has said, because by supporting and voting for a Liberal national government next Saturday will ensure the stability of a clear national economic plan and the stability that is necessary in what are very uncertain times. While we are well prepared, not by accident, for what is happening at the moment, it is an important reminder of the global volatility and headwinds the Australian economy faces. We have a strong national economic plan that deals with investment, that therefore deals with growth and therefore deals with jobs. Our plan means that we are reducing the deficit, that we will be ultimately reducing the debt, and importantly, we will not be increasing the tax burden on the Australian economy at a time like this. The tax burden, in comparison to the projection that has been there for some time, we will not be increasing that burden over those projections, and that will give the business the room it needs and markets the room it needs to cope with these sorts of events. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you.